Hello everyone. So today we are going to work on this base building uh, actor object. So here you can see, just like characters, we can select the buildings as well. This base building will act as the parent for all types of buildings that we will be creating on this game. Maybe not just buildings, it could be things like farms as well. But I haven't actually thought about that. So yeah, anyway, base building, that's what we are going to work on today. So we are going to create the base building as a C++ class, and we are going to implement selectable interface so that we can select buildings as well, just like we select characters using the same interface called in the player controller. Everything will be done in C++, and yeah, let's see how to do this today. Before we get started, let me remind you that you can download the project files of this project and all other thousands of projects I have done from my Patreon page. Once you become a member, you can download anything without any limits. So feel free to check it out. And also in this playlist, you can see all the things that I have been working on this series so far. So I'll leave the link to the full playlist in the description. And also, if you are interested in some more strategy game development content, here this playlist contains some of the things that I have implemented. Here we have implemented everything in Blueprint, so if you are interested in that, feel free to check it out as well. I'll leave links to everything in the description below. Right, so now let's get back to today's episode. Okay, so this is what we have right now. We have characters, and we can zoom in, zoom out, and we can select them. So next step is, now these are characters, I need a building, so something that would represent like immovable objects that are relevant to the game systems. That would be usually in RTS games buildings, such as in Age of Empires. You have houses, town centers, castles, a lot of things. Okay, so how do we implement it? So I can't make buildings a subclass of this PC CLM base pawn type, because obviously they are not characters or buildings, they are not like pawns. So let's create a new class, new actor class, and next. So I'll select top down utilities. I'll call it CLM base building. Let's add it. Alright, so here is the CLM base built in C++, and here is the header file. Now first thing is, I need to implement this selectable interface, because just like this CLM base pawn, because I should be able to select buildings as well. So let's, in order to implement it, first thing is I need the header file of selectable interface. So let's add it here, and then public selectable interface. Okay. Now as for the components, let's add a private section. So as for the components, we would need maybe a box collider. So, oh yeah, either we could make the mesh itself the root, but I think let's go with the box collider for now. And we would need mesh component, something that represents for example, a house or whatever the building mesh. And that indicate something to show enable when the object is selected by the controller. And we don't need anything like a movement component because in the phone we did have a floating movement component, but we don't need anything like that for building. Builds are not moving. So box collider, this should be, let's define it like this. In the same way, we would need a U property to say visible anywhere, blueprint read only, category, collision, okay. And instead of this, it should be a U box component. So let me paste it here. Maybe category. Let's just build it. So right, U box component. Now we have the option to include the header file, but let's not do that. Let's forward declare it. Okay. And in the same way, we would need a mesh. So U static mesh component box. What should we call this? No, let's just call it box component. Will static mesh, or we could call it built-in mesh as well, but static mesh is fine. And selected indicator. This also should be another static mesh because that's what we have used, a mesh that we make visible and invisible based on the selected state of the object. So this, let's say, selected indicator, and for this should be, wait, this, what did I rename it here? So it should be a static mesh. Okay, now we can go here and create these components. Create box component equals create sub object box component box component. I don't have another name. And the file for the box component is this components box component. Okay, and let's component set the box component as the root component. And also we need to set the collision profile for that to block everything. So we can do this just like here. We can set the collision profile collision profile name, collision profile, block all a blocker profile. Okay, and the next thing is mesh. Static mesh. Okay, it compiled successfully, so that means we don't need to add the header file. And I'll add static mesh attachment. I'll attach to the box component. And the next item is selected indicator. Selected indicator, just like this. Instead of a static mesh, selected indicator. Okay. Now, if I compile this, I should have all the components, but before that, let's also add this one as well. All we have to do is add in this select actor implementation. Sit under public. Yeah. Selectable interface. Okay. Implement this, and I'll simply copy this. Basically, all we have to do is select the indicator, set hidden game to not of select. So this will toggle the visibility of this selected indicator component whenever I try to select this building. Right. Let's go here and try to compile. Done. Now, done utilities, classes, public. Here we have 𝐶LM-based building. Create a blueprint. Put it under plugin, content, blueprint. Maybe we should have a different folder, but for now, let's just put it under blueprints, ppCLM-based building. And what should I call it? Just the buildings. I could call it something like static entities, because if I want to put things like crops, farms, etc. But yeah, it's okay. Now here we need a static mesh, and I already have a house mesh for this. So this house should be large enough to this collider should encompass the house. So, but there is a problem. If I try to scale up the collider, house also increases in scale with that. So maybe we should make the mesh root and then the collider. I think that would be better. Let's do that. Box component should be attached to the collision profile. Or no, box can still be the collision profile that blocks everything. That's not a problem. Right. Recompile. Okay. Compilation successful. And yeah, no, it's not updated. Yeah, it's not updated because maybe we will have to restart this editor. Sometimes right after you close the editor, it takes a bit of time to clean the weight mutex. Okay, built in. Right, here is the built-in. Now we have the static mesh at the top and box second. Cool. So now let's again assign the house. By default, actually this is also blocking all dynamics, so we don't even need the box mesh, but yeah, why make things complicated? So if we need, we can just add a box collider instead of a complex collider for the house too. So get rid of the box collider. Box component itself. So selected indicator and the static mesh. That's all we have. And here box component. We don't need it. It should be attached to root component. Yeah, now all should be clean. Okay, now here we have the house. We have static mesh, and under that we have the selected indicator, but it's not visible. So let's see. Let's copy the same selected indicator that we have for the font. Okay, right. I thought one more thing. If I drag and drop the building, the selected indicator is active by default. So that should not be the case. So we can easily fix it. Here, selected indicator, set hidden in game. And also this should not have any collisions. So selected indicator, set collision enabled, collision enabled. collision. One. Right. Now if I press G, this is still there, but maybe reset the default value. No, it's not updated. Hold on, did I pass through? Yeah, I did. Save this. Okay, now when I press G, that disappears. Okay, so that means now we have two houses. It's not here selectable. This is not. Why is that? Do I have collisions for these buildings? It's blocked. Set to block call dynamic. Let's check the mesh itself. Condition. Simple collision. Alright, it doesn't have collision. Okay, that's why. So we can, let's add a simple box simplified collision. Now we should be able to select that. Yeah, see? Now we can. We can select either characters or boxes. Okay. Alright, so yeah, that's all I want to cover in this episode. So thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available for download here in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. See you in another episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.